Pretty interesting title, right? I'm interested to see what he's got to say. I recorded about a minute of this, so I'm going to say everything I said over that minute again because I didn't do this. I didn't do this. I just kept it here, and so it was like video playing in the back, me in the screen, whatever. I fucked up. Anyways, I'm boiling some water because I ran out of water bottles, and my tap water makes me lightheaded, so I might go. Let me take that off the stove real quick. Sorry. For that to cool and then drink that later. We're down bad out here. Alright? Give me a day. Let me get back on my feet. This is just what I was Googling when I figured out I wasn't recording. Okay. This is one thing I was looking up. Service members, like active duty service members in the military dying by suicide. Take the number of active duty service members, period, and the number that are dying by suicide. And you get like a ratio, right? And then we have three, this guy was saying, porn stars have died in the last 2 months. And the ratio of like porn stars to these suicides, like of major name porn stars, that's pretty fucking high. So we're going to watch this and see what's going on, because it's serious. Like the ratio amount of people that are dying to those in the industry is serious enough where it needs to be talked about. His intro made me laugh. I wish I could show you the genuine laugh I had before if you're watching this, but I fucking fucked the video up. This is funny as shit.
Now that I have your attention, I think it's time for us to start talking about the adult film industry. Third adult film industry death in 2 months. We have Jesse Jane, who died.
And by the way,
industry. Third,
I was talking before about why is this even an article if like electricians and fucking contractors die every day? The answer is because these are suicides.
Adult film industry death in 2 months. We have Jesse Jane, who died in January for overdose. We got Cagney Lynn Carter, who unalived herself in February. Emily Willis is still breathing, but was put into coma 2 days ago for overdosing in January.
Yeah, like overdose.
And just last night, they announced Sophia Leon was found unalived in her apartment, not responding in 1st of March.
Like, dude, these are people's daughters, man. Daughters, man. Somebody fed her for years.
Now, to a lot of you guys who might be like, oh my god, why are so many adult film stars dying in the span of like 2-3 months? What's happening in industry? What are they hiding? But this is not the first time that this is happening. There has been a lot of this, like, I want to say kill streak, but no, they have.
This is a crazy title too.
There has
many porn stars, if you don't let her, actually dead. Their work killed them. Dead. By suicide. They don't, not like car accidents,
has been a lot of this, like, I want to say kill streak, but no, there have been like a lot of streak going on over the past 20 years. Each year the toll is around 50 to 100 porn stars dying, mainly from drug, alcohol, and unaliving themselves. Now, there are some accidents that happen, but that's a very small majority, man. Of it. An average life of a
19 years
now, there are some
old,
accidents
bro.
that happen, but
And the question is, like, did they randomly overdose one day on a bunch of pills, or have they been taking this shit for a long time and they fucked up? It's a big difference.
That's a very small majority of it. An average life of a porn star is 36 years old.
Average life, dude. Fuck. I guess, like, most of them are young, so of course the data is skewed because, like, who's doing porn over 40 or 50? But average life, like, expectancy?
They came out in the industry that they work in. And there's a whole list of
40 years old, alcohol abuse. Holy shit! Alcohol killed her? Dude, do you know how much you have to drink to die from alcohol? Dude, I work in a bar industry. I'm telling you, you have to drink a fuck ton.
Corn stars getting
33 years
dying
old.
at
Fuck,
what,
dude.
in their mid-20s?
Right, I gotta start getting emotional,
20s?
man. This is
Now you're probably
whack.
telling yourself, Kush, this is like the best job ever. If you're a guy, you're like, oh my god, you get to touch
Nah.
a girl every single day.
Nah,
This is
nah.
a dream come true. And for girls, you're gonna be like, oh, okay, what can go wrong? You get to be with a guy, you get to make money, you get to party and get to know a lot of people. This is gonna be a lot of fun.
Because I was young. I was 19 when I started porn. I just turned 19, so I was basically 18. And like in high school, I just put, like, I grew up very closed off, so I didn't really start talking to other people or dating until high school, really. And I just felt like I put a lot of pressure on it. So for me personally, I wanted to be able to enjoy sex in a fun way and be able to profit off of it.
Why do you think all of these, the whole list, 90% of the list, the causes of them dying is unaliving themselves or drug overdose?
Yeah, man.
Because there's a very dark secret that you don't know about this industry. But thankfully, the 16-year-old Kush was very interested in the adult film industry and he was still growing up, so he made his research.
Hey, no cap. Hey, no cap, my dude. Hey, we went down a hole, man. Listen, I'll talk about my porn use one day. I'll get serious and intimate on this channel, but man, I was looking at some shit I'm not proud of. You know what I mean? And I'll talk about it later. Not what it was, but it's just like shit that's like, who am I? You know? And that was kind of when I realized, all right, if I don't like it, then I don't like it.
He studied all these things. He started watching
Yeah.
podcasts of corn stars, and the 16-year-old Kush is gonna pass some knowledge to you guys about the industry. So royal chairs back, get some popcorn. Do not get tissues or anything. Get some popcorn because 16-year-old Kush is about to drop some knowledge. I'll give you an example on how it is to be in the adult film industry. Now, at the beginning, you go, you're so excited, you're like, oh my god, imagine having to have pleasure and make money at the same time. This is like the best job ever. But the more you get into it, the more you're gonna get sick of it. Why? Now, when you go by,
I understand, yeah. I mean, from their perspective, dude, like playing devil's advocate for girls that get into porn super, super young, I mean, that's like their first job. They don't even get to see what the world's like. So a lot of the times. So young, like, dude. And it does look promising, because it's like we've depersonalized sex so much and taken a lot of the intimacy out of it with hookup culture, etc., which I'll say I've fallen victim to. But dude, like, it just doesn't mean anything. And so if you can monetize it and it doesn't mean anything, why wouldn't you do it? Right out of high school, like, fuck it, money, money, money. And you don't know what you don't know. And there's nobody. Mia Khalifa would be responsible. We did a video on this in the past, and she was responsible, and she told women, bro, if she switched, if she came to this side, if she joined, you know, the fucking Avengers, the world would literally change. If she said, don't do it, no matter what, don't do it safely, no, don't do it at all. If she said that, things would fucking shift. But she won't. I get where I get how it can be a choice, man. I'm not gonna sit here and say, you know, they're all stupid and retarded for going to be porn stars. It looks good. It's fashionable. It's shiny. I've fallen victim to shiny shit all the time. So I can't sit here and say, you know, I'm better than them, but it's just fucking unfortunate, yo.
buy a burger, like, if, you know, once a week, once a month, you enjoy it, you eat it. Amazing feeling, greatest pleasure. And then you go back to your same routine. But imagine eating that burger every single day for breakfast, lunch, and dinner.
Yeah.
You are going to get sick of it. So all
Yeah, dude. It's your whole life is sex. Your whole everything. Doing it better, watching yourself doing it, you know, reviews, paperwork, editing, money, taxes, bro, like picking a guy, STD checks, you gotta go to the fucking doctor 3 times a week. I don't know, I'm making this shit up off the top of my head, but you know, that's gotta ruin sex for a person.
these things you see, all this overreaction, oh my god, you know, the dirty talks inside the corn videos that we see, oh wow, this is the biggest one I have seen, all these things, it is all fake. Everything, every single part is acting, and most of them are not even enjoying it because they are having the same burger their whole life. Literally, this
Yeah,
is what they do
dude.
for work: breakfast, lunch, dinner.
That's part of the reason I stopped too, is because I took a step back and I looked and I was like, dude, these people are just like on the clock. You know what I mean?
And the difference between in the adult industry, male and female corn stars is males they have more options and they're more emotionally stronger than the female corn stars because
Yeah. Well. Yeah.
in the industry, I've seen podcasts, I've seen interviews with ex corn stars, and they were saying on how humiliating they are, like the directors make the girls feel.
I've never watched an interview with an ex porn star. I might have to do that later. That sounds intriguing.
How low self-esteem they feel, how
I mean, yeah, dude, they gotta just treat them like objects in there. Fuck, that sucks.
the shame, the guilt.
It's basically the biggest regret that I have working in the adult industry.
Nobody regrets joining the military. It's a broad statement, but like, a lot of people get out and they're like, man, that sucked. I wouldn't do it again, but I'm glad it happened. This is not that. You know what I'm saying? This is just look at the data, man.
And I wish I never did it, and they try to exploit women to say things that they have in their lives that they're shameful about, and they basically exploit that, and they make people feel really shitty about themselves on camera. And the scene starts, and right away it's just push, push, slap, slap, split, spit, slut, whore. It was just this bomb of just physical abuse as well as mentally and emotionally. I mean, I was numb, but I just tried to mentally not be there.
Mainly the directors and the guys who are in the scene make the girls feel like they are this small, they are nothing. They will do things to them and the girls like, haha, it's an act, I love this job. But deep down, once they get back home, it is full on depression.
Okay, so I'm going to explain to you how I understand the way domestic abuse works. It's going to be a little short, crazy sentence, I know. Crazy sentence to start off with. Just hear me out. So basically, from what I understand that's happening and happens to the victims, and I will say victims because women are usually the victims in this. Man, if you're getting physically abused by a woman, just leave. It's a little bit easier for us to leave. Never had it happen to me. But if you're getting hit, leave. It's hard to tell kind of what's going on until you get out of a poor relationship and you can look back and go, okay, I was putting up with bullshit. But as a guy, if you're getting hit, go. That's it. If she's making you feel like shit, go. That's it. For women, it's a little bit different because they're a little bit more emotional. He's right. Not a little bit, a lot. They're fucking emotional because of just the way they're wired, just who they are. So once a guy figures out how to tap into that, it's kind of over. Now, I've literally talked to women who were victims of domestic abuse, really cool women, and I asked them, I was like, what were you fucking... I've always wanted to ask somebody this, and I'm talking to her, this is her. I'm like, I've always wanted to ask somebody this, why didn't you leave? And bro, she said, what kind of happens is, they'll hit him, slack him, talk shit to him, do whatever, and then like profusely apologize after. And then the woman will believe him because she'll just fall into that like I love you type shit, and it works every time. So man, I don't know how to break that loop because it's situational, person to person. But if you know someone who's suffering from domestic abuse from a man, then I'm trying to think of a solution off the top of my head. You have to make him seem like less than he is to her. So you have to explain to her what he's doing wrong. I think maybe people have tried this. I don't know. Look, I don't know, but I'm just telling you how it works. There's also a book that I think Dave Chappelle talked about this pimp who wrote a book, and he said that, yeah, like one of his best hoes was about to jump out of the industry, and he beat the shit out of her, and then like made her a bath. And it's the same concept, is like beating them down and picking them back up after. So I say all that to say, when the guys in the industry are doing these to these women and they're beating them up in the cameras and yada yada yada, they're probably so nice to them off camera, and that's why they stick around. Unless, you know, their contract's super short, then they're gone. But otherwise, you know, they probably try to keep them around as long as possible. So I think they really do that shit because they know that the camera's going to ruin them. So they have to positively reinforce them somehow. So I'm imagining it's just a theory that they're really nice off camera, at least. I haven't seen any of the interviews with, you know, post whatever porn stars, so I'm gonna have to watch those later, and I think I'm gonna watch that on camera because that would be really interesting. I'm actually super excited to see what they gotta say. Okay, I'm gonna stop talking.
Imagine someone makes you feel this. You're not even worth to be on this earth. They make you feel that every day, and you get back, you have no one, and you're gonna be depressed. That's why a lot of people in the industry, what they do is they have sugar. They have other
Yeah,
type
they
of
gotta
things
cope,
to
bro.
help the depression, help them take their minds off of
The
things.
sugar.
Now, as same as well as males, the amount of drugs you use on yourself just to be on your best performance, and you just lose your soul to the
Yeah.
job.
Bro, the meat cannot be hard all the goddamn time. It just can't. It just can't. Just can't. Just can't.
And this is what it leads to a lot of depression and a lot of health issues,
Yeah, that's gotta fuck with your shit.
but mainly mental issues and unaliving thoughts. There have been interviews with a lot of people as well. Even like, I don't know if you guys know August Ames. She was a very
I've heard of
popular
her.
porn star, and you know, she unalived herself in 2018, 23 years old.
Oh, damn.
There's other people as well, 20 years old, 21 years old. The guilt gets to you. And even though most of them try to leave the industry after a few months or after a few years, there is no going back. Once you get into this game, mentally, spiritually, physically, you will never recover.
Guys, if you don't know this, I want you to guess how long Mia Khalifa did porn for. And you know her name. I know her name. Everybody knows her name. Guess how long she did it for. 3 years? 5 years? Dude, 2 months. She was in there for 2 months. Plastered.
In
Everywhere.
2017, at least 5 adult industry performers died by suicide or drug overdose in a
Dude.
7-month period. There are many more who suffer from mental illness.
I'm just trying to get my head around how
I gotta watch this.
stressful this must have been, and whether even now, because you sit here so poised, and obviously a lot of time has passed and you've moved on, but do you think there is some sort of post-traumatic stress that is in you from this experience?
Yes, and I think it kicks in mostly when I go out in public because
Jeez, dude, imagine not being able to go out in public. You can't even interact with human beings or else you get stressed out. The most basic thing ever. You can't talk to people, bro. Like, why do people do this?
the stares I get, I feel like people can see through my clothes, and it brings me deep shame. It makes me feel like I lost all right to my privacy, which I did because I'm one Google search away.
Yeah. And those images you cannot expunge.
Literally
You have
zero
no
chance.
right, even though it is deeply personal to you, you have no right to remove them from anybody's view around the world.
There's also another thing adult stars deal with. The internet is forever. This is going to be on the internet whether you like it or not, whether you
Yeah,
decide to
man.
leave it. Still gonna be there. Examples: Lana Rhoades, Riley Reid. They both have. They're both. I think Lana Rhoades is not married, but Riley Reid is married with a child. Lana Rhoades has a child as well. And I think it was 3 years ago, they decided to go against the industry and make them remove all their videos, and they failed. These videos are always gonna be there. And who I feel bad for is their kids growing up.
Dude, fuck. Oh my god, imagine. You thought you got bullied in school, man. They said your mom's fat and she wasn't even fat. They're gonna say your mom fucked the whole world. And they will actually be right. Damn, that is tough. That is some tough shit. Fuck, man. I remember when Lana's kid was born. I felt awful, dude. I felt awful. She was hot. I used to follow her. But, bro, man, that's just the most shameful thing ever. God damn, that's going to be rough.
Thankfully, they made it out of the industry without having to lose their mind, having to unaliving themselves because of all the guilt and shame. But
For now, bro.
even though they made it out alive, let's hope that the kids make it out alive past the age of 20 with having their moms all over the internet. Imagine all your like, bro, you will lose all the arguments in your life.
No. Bro, imagine waking up in a bed that was bought with the money from cocks your mom sucked. Like, that's just rough, dude.
You're going to get bullied for the rest of your life. And how is this going to affect you? Imagine your mom is all over the internet doing this stuff. It's going to be a very, very tough childhood to grow up in. And not only, okay, if they decide, if, for example, they're 21, 22, 20.
Dude, I'd rather my dad be a mass murderer than my mom be a fucking internet slut, dude. I'm keeping it real. I think that's probably one of the worst ways to grow up. I don't know. It's porn's like internet porn's too new. We don't know. Like, there's no studies. There's no people yet. These are the first kids of like major porn stars. You know. At least I think. I think internet porn is like so much different than like magazine shit. So I think these two kids are gonna be the hamsters. We're gonna see.
3 years old, right? They have OF. They make a little bit of money, even though they are depressed. 100% they are depressed and feel guilty and shame. But most of them, they like to look good in camera and pretend like nothing is wrong. Even though they make it out alive, who do you think wants to marry or date these kind of girls? Now, if you have no self-respect, you will go and you will date one of them because you don't care. You just want to live life and you have no ghaira at all. You don't give a shit about there is DNA of 1,000 guys inside your girl and she has been passed around by 12-inch cucumbers like a bag of gum. But there's...
Bro, it's hard not to think about, man. I will say that. For me, especially, I can't, like, not think about people someone I'm with has fucked. It's like, well, you're not supposed to. Yeah, well, I do. Can't stop my thoughts. They're automatic.
There's very few shameless people like this who would date these kind of people, and at the beginning it doesn't seem like a big issue once they go in the industry. But
bro, imagine. I keep interrupting this guy. I'm so sorry. I'm gonna let him speak in a sec. But like, imagine one of your boys comes up and he's like, "Yo, hot new babe I'm with, hot new girl I'm seeing, bro. She has so much money, new car, Lambo, apartment super clean, boom, diamond floors, fucking fire pussy, right?" And you go, nice, nice, nice. Sounds like a stand-up gal. Is she holy? What does she do for work? What kind of books does she read? Can she cook? He's like, nah. You're like, oh, really? So what is she, she works in tech or software developer, clearly. Works for Google. Nah, close. And it's like one of these girls. What are you going to say? Oh, wow. Nice. Jesus Christ.
Gum. But there's very few shameless people like this who would date these kind of people. And at the beginning, it doesn't seem like a big issue once they go in the industry. But the further they go in the industry, they realize dating life is going to be almost impossible. Because there's only a few percentage of people in the world who have no respect for themselves or for her. Like, who would like everyone to know that the wife got slammed down with a 15-inch cucumba? It's very true. Think about it. And also, not only that, imagine your friends, your family. How would they even think about
literally, bro,
what you're doing? You think all of them will be like, oh my God, my daughter does this. I am so proud of her. She eats 15-inch cucumbers. She takes after her mother. I am so proud of her. And I'm definitely going to bring this up every time we go to a family reunion or something. No, they're going to get disowned by their parents as well, by the shame that brings the family. So not only they're going to be ashamed of themselves, they're going to be ashamed by their family. They're going to lose friends. They're going to lose family members. They're going to go through a lot of stuff. And it's going to get to a point where they have nothing else to lose, and they have unaliving thoughts. It's a very serious problem, and unfortunately, it is a big part of everyone's lives nowadays. You know, the corn industry. So,
Bro, and another thing, softcore porn is porn, bro. Like, it's softcore porn. So, like, if you're, I forgot to mention this in my how to quit porn video. If you're trying to stop porn, that counts. So no twerking, no nothing. Like, and it's kind of got to be the same deal where it's like you feel shame after as well. With, you know, the sexy pictures and shit like that. Those shits aren't going to be up when you're 40, 30. You're not going to be doing that shit anymore. And if you are, hey, it's your life.
this is gonna go on for more. A lot of youngsters are gonna grow up and be like, "Oh, I have nothing to do. Why not just eat cucumbers every day and get paid for it?" And then most of them, I hope they make it out alive. I hope they turn their lives around. But most of them are unfortunately going to unalive themselves or have overdoses because of this.
And it's crazy because there's some actual girls who love this shit, who like are victims of abuse, and this is their way out, or it didn't mean anything to them anyways because they're victims of abuse. Maybe something happened when they were younger, and this shit is just, you know, vanilla now in comparison. You know what I'm saying? Who just love it. There's outliers who love this shit and live it and get paid, and man, it's just crazy to think about. This is normal, you know? People's daughters picked her up when she fell, and now she's just online. Man, imagine the fathers. Fuck, that's rough. And this is why, like, this is why sometimes people are afraid to have daughters. Not because they'll go into porn, but it's just like, you want to protect her from the world. And women are a lot more vulnerable to succumbing to the world around them because, I don't know, they're a little bit more emotional. Maybe sometimes they don't think as well because of their emotions. They could be rash in decisions. I'm saying can be, not are. But it's just like, as a man, like, you just want to protect them. So that's why you'll see, bro, have you ever seen those fucking videos on Instagram? Gender reveals, and it's like a daughter, and the dad's like fucking distraught. It's not because he didn't want a daughter. He just knows it's going to be a heavy responsibility. It's a heavy one. Fathering and you know, protecting that girl. You could, a kid, like a boy, break his arm, dumbass will be fine in 3 weeks, right? But like a girl, it's like, that's your baby, you know? It's just rough, man. I don't really know what my point was. I was just kind of rambling.
Things they go through every day because they have no say in things. They have to do whatever they're asked, or they're gonna be dropped from the industry. Now in 2024, it's gone up to 4, 5. If next month or the second 2 months, people come up, names come up, overdose on
This is
themselves
2024, you
in
said?
the industry. Now in 2024, it's
Damn, this year?
gone up to 4, 5. If next month or the second 2 months, people come up, names come up,
And OnlyFans has been around for a couple years, bro. A couple years.
overdose on unaliving themselves, I won't be surprised. It's huge on the industry. But if something happens to these kind of people or the people who are already unalived, guys, out of respect for the dead, do not beat your cucumba on them. Okay?
Literally.
Have some respect. Don't tell me, Kush, oh, let me do one last knot on, you know, for respect. One last knot in her name. No. Haram. They're unalived. Do not. Khalas, done.
Yeah, that's actually
Don't search
fucked
up that. No. But I just wanted to talk about that. And if you think, oh, you have nothing going on in your life, you don't know what to do. Oh, you're always tired. You don't have energy to do things. You don't have energy to think of new ideas. Your brain fucked is because you watch people in this industry. You watch too much of this. The sooner you stop watching these kind of videos, the sooner you're gonna be successful in life. And I just realized tomorrow is Ramadan and I'm making videos about core.
Man. So in the comments, funny intro. POV, you've never heard about them. Lamau. I think I've heard of one of them. First, nice vid. Nice vid. Currently filming a reaction. Alright. Pretty good, pretty good, pretty good.